With us now is Ally Melendez. And Ally, who is our lovely guest?
This is the lovely Joanna Cherisma, and I am so excited that she is here. So one of the reasons why I'm in love with Donna. Not in a creepy way, but as you guys know, she's like my second mom. And it's because you have this show that offers, the most incredible stories from the best people, the best places, all these things. And we always use it as a way to uplift our audience, right? So inspire them in some way, motivate them. And when I met Joanne, and I heard Joanne's story about how, it started as she's a domestic violence survivor, turned author, turned advocate, RAIN speaker. It is so empowering, and I needed to have her on the show. So Donna, thank you so much.
No, you're absolutely welcome. And that's
for this,
how the show
and Joanne,
and that's really how the show's put together. People call me or come up with introductions, and then that's what we do. We just paint with people, as I say, right? So it's lovely to have you on our canvas. And what you have to say and what you have to share is so important because it's about that education. It's about giving that person courage. So tell us about your book because you're right. No one ever wants to be a statistic, right? So please share with us.
So thank you for having me
You're
today.
welcome. And by the way, I've got you. I know you said you were nervous. You're safe. Right?
Yeah. So thank you for having me today. Like Hallie mentioned, we connected online and it was a click, and then we started talking, and she got excited about my story, and I'm so grateful to be here today. Like you mentioned, my book is about my story. I'm a survivor of domestic violence. I was in an abusive marriage for about 5 years, and I was blessed enough to get out. And when I get out, I wanted to share my story because once I started going to therapy, I realized that it was a lot of different women. It was different stories from different people, but they had the same background. And I started questioning myself why, if it's so common, why people are not talking about this more, why it's such a taboo subject. And I really wanted to do something more. And at the time, being so shy, writing was the best way for me to share my story. And after publishing the book, I started doing a little bit more of speaking engagement and, doing some empowerment session and kind of bring more awareness of the subject. And that's why I'm here today.
It's such a blessing to have you here. And I remember years ago, one of the ways that people could help is that they would donate their old cell phones. Because a lot of times, if you need to make a call, even a 911 call or a disposable phone, you can't, sometimes you can't get a call out. What are some of those things that you would maybe want to offer to our viewers at home if they're trying to get out and they just can't? Because if they find you, if they catch you on the phone, it's more abuse. If they find an email that you sent, I don't want to cry because then I'll mess up all my eyes. But please share with us what are some steps? How can we help people that might have been going through those terrible dark hours?
Well, first thing I always say that people, they don't usually get out unless they're ready.
Okay.
Because it's a process. You have to feel mentally ready and mentally strong. And a lot of people, they get out and then for some reason they go back. And most of the time people don't really understand why would you get out and then you go back. It's easier to stay with what you know. The unknown is very scary. So it's a process. What I'll say to somebody who's going through this, it's kind of don't feel like you're alone because there's so many different people who at the moment go through this thing. It's one of the things that I also felt myself because I was so ashamed while I was in the situation. I never spoke about it. My family didn't know. My friends didn't know. Everybody thought that, I was in that happy relationship just because I was so ashamed because you choose to be with that person. So it's a whole process and you have to get to the point where you're really ready to break the cycle and to get out. And also statistically, a lot of people get hurt when they're on the process of leaving.
Okay.
So you have to have an exit plan ready, what you're gonna do after, where you're gonna go, because like I said, it's scary, and then you don't know where you're going. You don't know what you're gonna do. A lot of people, they depend financially on the abuser, so it's just so many different dynamic in place. It's a process. That's why I like the work that I do. with the survivors, we kind of get them to the point of independence financially, education and self-esteem, because a lot
you
of
do
us
a
were
lot.
dealing with a self-esteem issue because we're thinking that we're never going to find anybody better, so we just stay there. So
Well, your strength is amazing. I mean, you wrote this book about your own story, and then you went out and started your own non-for-profit organization called Beyond the Abuse. So share with us a little bit about what that's about and what you do.
So Beyond the Abuse started in 2016. It's still in me wanting to do
Yes.
more, because there's a lot of organization out there, but I really wanted to do something that kind of bring the people, like I mentioned, a lot of independence, because most of the organization I work with, they do a lot of empowerment session, but I didn't really find a place where they will work with you from the basic. And also I love working with teenagers because I think it's something that start home, because a lot of our kids, they don't know the situation. So when they find themselves, like myself, I didn't know that this wasn't okay, because it's not a conversation that we really have with our kids. So I try to include this in my organization as well, kind of, make them understand it's something that's aware, that's here, it exists, and what's okay, what you should accept in a relationship, and not what's not okay, and kind of bring their self-esteem and independence and all this sort
Well,
of
you're
things.
very empathetic because you've been through it. So, we cannot thank you enough. And is there, I guess, a website or somebody can reach out to you if they need help, or somebody could reach out to you on behalf of someone else?
Well, we have our main website. It's www.infotheabuse.org.
Okay.
And I'm also on Instagram. We have the organization page on Instagram, and our phone numbers is online as well.
Wonderful.
And
Thank you.
thank you
Thank
so
you
much
so
for
much.
having
And
me.
you're a good example of what can happen in any community, because our show is now in 25 countries, and I'm sure if it's not just here, it's not just happening here, it's happening globally. So it's wonderful that you are making yourself available in such a loving,
definitely.
giving way. So we thank you sincerely,
Thank
right,
you,
Ally?
Joanne. Yeah,
so much
you're
for having me.
fantastic.
No,
Thank you.
I know you were a little nervous, but you shared your story beautifully.
That's great.
So please, if you need help, if you're in a bad situation, if you know somebody that is, reach out there. You truly are not alone. You're never alone. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.